In this video, I'm going to show you how to run a service census report. Running a service census report will give you a list of all of the clients that have used a specific service in the time frame that you select. Running this report is like running a lot of reports in Clarity. So once you know how to do this, you should know how to run some other reports. So to run a service census report, the first thing you're going to do is click on the waffle and then click on reports. This is where you will find all the reports available to you to run. The service census report is a service-based report. That means it's only going to pull data for clients that have used this service. It doesn't matter if they're enrolled in the program or not. So I'm going to go down to service-based reports and then click on 13 reports where it has all of the list of reports in this category. And over here I'll see GNRL-103 Service Census, and I will click Run. This pulls up the list of options for running the report. You can choose between running the report for all of the services in your agency, or just the services that are active, or the services that are inactive. I'm going to click on All, and that pulls up a list of all of the services available in my agency. This is not program specific because, again, it doesn't matter if the person is enrolled in a specific program or not. We're just going to look at a list of all of the clients in all of the programs in your agency that have used this specific service. So this list of services will be shared between all of the programs in your agency, but since different agencies have different services available, this list will look a little bit different between different agencies. So let's say I want a list of all the clients that have used case management in the past year. So case management is an active service, so I could select active services or just all, and it's right there. So I'm going to select case management. I could hold down Control and select more than one service if I wanted to, but for now I'm just going to look at this one specific service. So veteran status is where you decide if you want to just look at the clients who are veterans. In that case, you would select yes. Or the clients who are not veterans, then you select no. But if you just want to look at all the clients, regardless of whether they're veterans or not, then you select all. So the report date range will tell us the date range that we want to see when clients have used the service. So I want to look for the past year. So I'm going to do May 20th, 2021 to May 20th, 2022. And then the last option is the output that I get. If I select web page output, that'll give me an HTML web page report, and then I will be able to click on the client's ID numbers and it will take me right to that client's profile. If I click on Excel, that gives me just an Excel file that I can open separately with all of the details, but it won't give me a direct link to click on to the client's profile. So I'm going to select web page for now, and then I click Submit. While the report is running, it's going to be in your queue. It'll show up in your queue when it's done, your report queue. So this is your reports queue up here. Right now it says 0 in this red dot because I have 0 reports processed. Once the report is processed, this number will change from 0 to 1. I'm going to click the refresh button on my browser to see if it's ready yet. And it's ready. Now I see there's one report ready, so I'm going to click on the queue. It says my report has been processed, and now I can open it. So this is where I would see a list of all of the clients who have used this service by each month. And I can see in the training website, I only have one client that has used the service case management or care management in the past year. And that was in October, on October 11th. And I can tell because there is a 1 in that box. I'm going to click on it, click on that 1. And it brings up the list of clients who have used that service on that day. I can see that that client was made-up client Margaret Carter. And if I click on her unique ID, that will pull up the client's information. So this gives me her fake social security number and her fake date of birth and her fake client information. I can go back to the report, and there are no other clients, but at the bottom it gives me a summary of the number of services provided to the number of clients. So I have one client that used this service one time, giving me a total of 1 services provided and a total of 1 unduplicated client. Now, this is a great way to look at the report, so you can look at the client details if you click on the client's ID number. But if I wanted to be able to send this report to somebody else, I would have to run it as an Excel sheet. So I'm going to go back and do that. To do that, I need to go run the report again. So I'm going to go back to reports. I'm going to go back to service-based reports and run the Service Census Report. I'm going to choose the same options that I chose earlier. And this time I'm going to select the Excel output. My report is ready, so now I'm going to click Open. As you can see, there's only one option now for opening a Service Census Report. It did not save my earlier Service Census Report in the reports queue. Each time you run the same report, it replaces it in your reports queue. So you need to make sure that you save the information you want to save before running another report of the same type. So I'm going to open this Service Census Report, and it automatically downloads the Excel file to my computer. So I can click on it to open it up. And it shows me the same information. Here's the summary. We have 1 service provided to 1 unduplicated client. And it tells us the date and month when that client was served. Just like in the earlier report, that client was served on October 11th. And it shows up here too, on October 11th. Unlike the web-based report, it does not give me the client's ID number. I can't just click on this 1 here and it pulls up a list of client IDs for the client that used the service on this date. So if you want to look at the specific client ID numbers, you usually want to run a web-based report. But at least with the Excel sheet, I can save this and email it to somebody else if I need to. And that is how you run a service-based report. This is pretty much the same process for running any report, but if you want some help running a program-based report, check out our program roster video.